Foot Clan, championships are right around the corner. It's time to get ready to celebrate. FantasyChamps.com. That's where you got to go for all of your trophies, your belts, your rings, anything you need to dunk on those fools in your league. At FantasyChamps.com, use the code BALLERS and save a little cash.
Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Welcome in. What is that?
That's the anxiety.
I thought so.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the anticipation. He hasn't had a playoff game
No,
yet.
I know, but Mike's been just soaring above it. That's not
Nobody's
too
above.
cool for school.
Nobody's really, truly above
No.
It's all pretend?
the fantasy. No, it's. I think it's an execution of instill some confidence.
Yeah, I can have the utmost confidence, but there's a Kyle Pitts out there waiting for this weekend.
Right.
Like,
There are a lot of people in the second round that probably shouldn't be.
there will be another Kyle Pitts type of performance
May it be Chris Olave.
from someone in football, and you're just like, he's waiting.
It's just
He's
what
waiting to
Jason
knock you
said.
out.
I mean, you spend the time, the skill, the ability, the consistency. You make yourself a playoff team, and then you
Lose.
You need a little bit of you need a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
And one, I mean, it's shocking breaking news. I'm surprised they didn't hit the button, but one person wins the title.
That
Right?
is the
Like
thing.
you can have two good teams and they can both play well, and one team's going to win.
That's the thing that passes by everyone. They all get, I did this, I lost. It's like everyone loses.
Yeah.
Literally all but one. The whole game we're playing is everyone but one loses. We look at it like, oh, I want to be the winner, but the game is everybody but one is a loser.
It's a good time to remind people that next week at this time, one of you two will be a loser.
Yep.
That is
Because you are facing off in the League of Records semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by this time, one of us will have been a loser for
for
at least a day.
One of you will be suffering this time next.
Yes.
Now,
yes,
I will be
that is
suffering this weekend, but also entertained to listen to both of you. Mike is more quiet. Jason, not so much.
No,
Like this weekend,
my emotions.
This weekend, you will be talking. You will be slowly walking us through everything that happens with extreme language.
Yeah.
You know, things like it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that I've already lost after the first catch of the game or something like that.
I was already congratulated yesterday
You were
on my victory.
You were.
Well, I just look, the projections were pretty wide, so congrats.
13 points. Backup options on the show today. NFL news, Thursday night preview, the mailbag. We're here for you, and it is semifinal week. So good luck to everybody in the Megalo Bowl that is still alive. If you want to see your Megalo Bowl standings, megalobowl.com, you can go in there and check it out. Find us on YouTube. We are a year-round podcast, youtube.com/thefantasyfootballers. Do us a favor, subscribe, click the bell. We will have Sunday Live. Now, I want the people to know.
Okay.
I'm going to just come out and say this.
Yeah.
Mistakes might have been made by yours truly when planning our company Christmas party.
Which it's unfortunate because you took the bull by the horns. You're like, I'm getting this.
I'm going to get it scheduled.
I'm getting out ahead of it.
It's a big day.
We often are like, oh crap, get the company Christmas party planned. And Andy was like, no, this year I got it. I'm hosting. I'm setting it all up. It's going to be awesome. What are you doing, Jason? What are you doing?
I was trying to make a waiver claim.
Oh, okay.
And then it turned out I have ineligible guys on my IR. And damn it.
And so Andy was going to take care of it, and then he planned it on Saturday.
Right, which I thought was normal. But I guess it's not been normal.
No, because we have a Sunday Live, and
that's early in the morning.
Yeah.
But not only is it early
Sometimes we
in
celebrate
the morning,
Christmas late.
Not only is it early in the morning after a late night party, but at said party, there shall be extra tilting because there is football games happening where
they'll be
they
on
make
the
an
TV.
impact on
I'm kind of looking forward to that, though. I'm actually kind of excited that there will be, because we've got Al Borland and his Packers taking on
Packers.
Taking on the Bears.
Yeah, baby.
Go Pack, go, baby.
Josh Jacobs Packers.
And then me and baby Jake with our Bears.
This was a long way of me saying we will still have a Sunday Live, but I think I'm going to fill in for Mike. I think I'll be there and take one for the team. Papa Josh, are you with me on Sunday Live?
I'm with you.
Okay. Lucky us. Merry Christmas. But that will be on Sunday morning before the games. We'll be with you, as always, to get you primed and ready. React to the latest news, because you never know when Rome Odunze is going to be suddenly removed from rosters 3 minutes before kickoff.
That one was brutal. If you are out there, and I actually saw a league that they allowed someone to swap out because the only player the only player that was, but here's the crazy part. The only player who would have been realistically swapped out on that team, and it was realistic, and it was not really the fault of the manager because it was announced, minutes beforehand, was Kyle Pitts. So they got to swap Rome out for Pitts.
But they already knew Pitts' points.
But is that what I just looked at the post? I don't know.
I mean, Pitts played on Thursday.
Whatever they allowed happened.
I'd be out of that league.
I was so with it. I'm like, dude, that's great. Because
you couldn't have made that.
Like someone could have been a church or whatever, and you're like, I have Rome in. Okay, we're good to go, and you're not able to react. So I mean, allowing people to fix that, but you can't just throw the 40 points in there.
No,
that I would not stand for.
No, you can't. Yeah, somebody was asking about reseeding in the middle of the playoffs. Like, it was an oversight. We didn't reseed. I want to just put it into place right this moment. And then they were like, but just to throw in, like, I'm the commissioner and it's my team in the semis. I was like,
that one you
can't do that, man. You got
also,
to live with it.
How is reseeding not the default? Like, it's so insane to me. It's a tournament.
Not every professional sports league does that, obviously.
Who doesn't reseed?
I don't think does the NBA reseed?
Yes. Oh yeah. The higher seed always plays the lowest seed possible. Because that's how tournaments work. Like you're a reward.
No, the NBA does not reseed after the first round of the playoffs.
That's what I thought.
Oh, well,
yeah.
So
only the NFL among the big U.S. leagues truly reseeds its
okay, well,
bracket.
football does it.
Well, that's a good enough argument.
My argument.
It's a good enough argument.
Yeah. I will say
the NBA doesn't reseed?
No.
That's wild.
I kind of actually this might be contrarian, I don't know, but there is part of me that prefers to not reseed simply because you can look at the bracket and know who's playing who. Whenever we're doing our playoff picks, which we'll be doing here in a couple weeks again, it's always annoying to be like, oh, okay, well, if this one wins, then the bracket changes here, so now my matchup is this versus,
So your argument against rewarding a team for having the better season, playing, winning, being great, your argument is you at home, when filling out your bracket, it's slightly more confusing.
It's actually that you can the same argument that I was making, if you're making the argument side, is actually that you can prepare for exactly who your next opponent would be.
I'd rather prepare for the team that's worse.
Well, unless you're the team that's worse.
Yeah.
Then you'd rather be able to prepare. You're saying that because you got the bye and you're the 1 seed.
What? Why are we rewarding the bad teams?
If you have a bye and your first matchup is not against the worst team as the best team, that sucks. That's why the NFL does it. The NFL's better.
Well, we do it, and Papa Josh actually was the 1 seed, and he's getting the layup. So Papa Josh will be in the championship against one of us, Mike.
So you're trying to jinx him right now?
No, I'm just telling the truth.
No, there's no way he's going to lose.
Moving on.
Backup Options, presented by Progressive Insurance.
All right, we're into backup options for Week 16. The most dropped players on Sleeper over the last 24 hours. We'll look at them and tell you if you should grab them. There's a huge name that we didn't really talk about yesterday because we didn't necessarily think he'd be back.
All right, we talked about it, the backup.
Yeah, exactly. And Chris Rodriguez is practicing in full. He is one of the most dropped players on Sleeper over the last 24 hours. He is my backup option this week. He was my start of the week last week. which I really think would have worked out quite well.
Yes.
Considering Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt was dominant. He missed last week. They got him healthy. He had been limited in practice. Now he practices in full on a Tuesday. You know, it's crazy. Chris Rodriguez, for all the disrespect that his own coaching staff and the rest of the league shows him, among 51 qualifying running backs with 80-plus carries, he ranks number 1 in yards after contact per attempt. Number 1 among 51.
That's good. The third in rush success rate is even more impressive.
Yeah, and his upcoming schedule, 5th easiest for running backs, Week 16. Philly, I know we talk about Philly all the time. Believe it or not, over the course of the year, 1.1 points above expectation. They're not a bad matchup, and then Dallas is real bad.
Do you have any concerns after last week's Bill performance and the trajectory of the team? They shut down Jayden Daniels. Is there any chance they just say, let's see if Bill can do it?
I think they need to know about both of those guys.
Yeah, I was going to say Chris Rodriguez is 25 years old. I think they have to question who should be our running back next year.
Yeah, or part of the depth of the team next year. So who do you guys have?
So I've got the Jaguars. I was shocked to see them as one of the most dropped teams. I have been looking at Week 17 matchups and, playing that 2-week ahead game where you're looking at your championship and saying, who could you play? Now, first of all, they play the Broncos this week, which is probably why they're so dropped. People are like, I'm not going to play them against the Broncos. The Broncos are a good offense sometimes, oftentimes. Sure. I know they're very confusing offense, but they really aren't one of those teams you can't play against. I think you could play the Jaguars against them. They have been on fire. Their pass rush has been great.
They're just a good defense.
Yeah, they're just a good defense, and so that's why I'm surprised they're dropped. But then you've got the matchup, and I know on paper when you look at the season totals, you go, oh, it's a bad matchup in Week 17. But it's the Colts.
Yeah. Things have changed.
Things have changed, and not only are you going to have film on the passing speed of Phillip Rivers, but Phillip Rivers is going to be coming off of a Monday Night Football game with a short week of rest.
Oh my
you know what I mean? Like at 44, it's like
he needs all the rest.
He needs extra rest, which he has 1 day extra of rest going into this week. But for a championship, I would be thrilled to play the Jaguars defense. I mean, the Jaguars aren't going to give up 3 touchdowns to Phillip Rivers in the championship week, and they could, if you want to watch a predictable pick 6 opportunity, watch Phillip Rivers throw out routes. It's like one is coming.
He floats them.
I overheard this name that you're about to mention, Mike, when you were on a radio show yesterday. I thought it was pretty astute, and it could be one of those. Really, really surprising. You mentioned Kyle Pitts gives you the weird week.
Right.
Go ahead and.
Is this who you're trying to pick up, Jay?
Warms my heart.
It's Trey Harris.
Love this man.
Of the Los Angeles Chargers. And obviously, this is only if Quentin Johnston is hurt. We don't have the information on it right now. However, he is a good player. He's a second-round pick. He's big. He had been on the field for 42% of the snaps on the season. But then last week, with Huge out, he ran the second most routes on the team. He had 5 targets, 3 for 49, and that was against a difficult Kansas City matchup. Now they get the Dallas Cowboys. While the offensive line will not be fixed, and Herbert will still take some shots from the Cowboys, certainly. If Trey Harris is out there for the second most routes against the Dallas Cowboys, you have a chance for something. You have a chance for a miracle to happen. You got to wade through the crap of who could possibly do it. And I think if Huge is out, Trey Harris is one of those guys that on Monday when we're in studs and duds, it wouldn't surprise me if you're like, holy crap, look what Trey Harris just did in the semis.
Yeah, I think you could be right, especially even like DFS and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was Backup Options, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at progressive.com.
News and notes from around the league, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Normally, I kind of lay the news out and you guys break it down a little bit. I'm going to let Jason take this one.
Oh, no! Okay, I'm up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, be a professional, Jay.
Yeah, the Dolphins are benching quarterback Tua Tagovailoa because he has been playing poorly, unless he's been throwing the ball to the tight end Darren Waller.
Mm-hmm.
That has worked excellent. And they are going to be starting Quinn Ewers this week. Ewers against the Bengals. So this is a matchup I have been salivating over. I talked about on the backup options weeks. 2 weeks ago. It was pick up Darren Waller. who had 2 more touchdowns. He's got like 6 touchdowns.
2 or more.
In basically 6 games because he exited 1 early with Tua. And now the question is, okay, the world's greatest matchup for a tight end who's been great. Tight ends can be, the best friend of a young quarterback. But can you really play Darren Waller when he's playing 50% of snaps with a 7th-round rookie quarterback?
Probably not.
I can't.
Probably
I won't
not.
be.
No. It sucks.
Yeah,
just to follow up, it sucks because it's not like we didn't just see variable, production from tight end against this defense last week. We saw Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. If they had gone out and both dominated, maybe we would be so overwhelmed by the 3 consecutive weeks with the triple Bills and double Ravens. And look, there's an opportunity for Waller to be productive. They don't really have pass catchers.
I can't believe.
But
I literally can't believe they made this decision. I mean, they just won 4 games in a row. And then they go and play in freezing cold weather, and he has a bad game. Quarterbacks have a bad game.
McDaniel is he's done with it. He is like, man, you have to be able to play in every scenario. And
you also need to know what you have here in 7th round. He's not the backup. Ewers was the 3rd stringer. Zach Wilson was the backup for the majority of the year. They made the decision. They know what he is on film.
Yeah.
You need to go see what Quinn Ewers has. They have ways out with Tua Tagovailoa's contract.
Expensive ways out.
It's going to cost.
I mean, technically everyone has a way out. You can cut anyone.
I think he is like more than $50 million guaranteed next year for Tua.
Cutting Tua would leave the Dolphins with $99.2 million.
How do you make this move if you're not planning
money
to move on from him?
That's what I'm
curious about.
It really felt, like we were trending that Tua won't be part of the team next year.
You a better draft
it just
pick.
has accelerated here. And for Ewers, I think the biggest thing is just the touchdown opportunities. Can Ewers be that good? I mean, the matchup for a guy who's making his first start, you're at home against the Bengals. Okay, that seems like a positive scenario. We've already seen the line move from 50.5 down to 47.5. Wow, Cincinnati gained 2 points on the spread. So I think this is a big move.
I actually think it hurts Cincinnati quite a bit, and I know you won't want to hear that with the
it's
Burrow
possible.
Chase, but like you just talked about it, the line's coming down.
I got Chase Brown too, so
no, but it's not just that. It's like touchdown opportunities for the defense.
Total points.
It's Cincinnati's defense being able to do stuff, maybe turn them over, maybe score. There's no better bet for a defensive score in football than a rookie start at quarterback.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying that if Cincinnati. You want every possible possession for them to put up points. It's not something you're going to overemphasize or change your start sit. It's just I'm less excited about the game, period.
But it's like Waddle.
With Quinn Ewers.
Well, I mean.
Waddle is in huge trouble.
I mean, Achane
you keep starting.
I keep starting. I'm just trying to think through it of like.
Even
hopefully Ewers is like, I'm just going to keep checking it down to Achane like I saw Tua do it, but he's a different quarterback. We don't know what his tendencies will be. We've seen the Dolphins with bad quarterback play and what that did to Achane. It was nowhere close to the superstar that we've had all season long.
The helpful thing is that Achane has been so good on the ground. Like it's not just what it was like last year.
But if a defense doesn't respect a passing game,
absolutely they'll crowd the line for sure. But I'm looking at the game log, and 2 weeks ago he was the running back 8 and he had 1 target. 3 weeks ago he was the running back 4. He had 1 target. He can do it on the ground.
Yeah, the Darren Waller start-sit questions are already piling up. Those are. It's Colby Parkinson. I'd go Parkinson.
There are a lot.
Tyler Warren. I'd probably go Warren.
We had
Harold Fannin. I'd go Fannin.
So our team was already prepared for this. We knew that the rumors were in the bushes. So we had all of our waiver claims. I've got 4 waiver claims in already on 4 different tight ends that I'm happy to start any one of them. And this is a good week for streaming tight ends, honestly. There's tight ends I would start over Tyler Warren that are in my list as well. I think.
Are you trying to block it like it's hot, Mike?
No. I don't think he could.
I don't have bench space.
Josh and Mike combined can't block my 4 guys.
Remember we had the discussion.
Why I'm willing to be free.
This is why we had the discussion the other day, and you said you changed your opinion on things. Is because when you have wide open waivers and you in a redraft league that has no dynasty implications, if a bunch of other managers jumped into this scenario right now to block you,
And that would
feel
it would really truly
and biased.
It would be collusion. I mean, if there is a sensational player out there that could be,
I didn't tell no one to do nothing.
Yeah, it's not collusion because there's not a collective effort, but it still disadvantages one team over the other, which I don't think is fair.
Right. And if it was a keeper-worthy guy, okay, but the tight ends on waivers aren't keeper-worthy players. We'll find out what happens in about 30 minutes.
Bam Knight on injured reserve for the Cardinals. We kind of knew that. Jeremy Ruckert signed to a 2-year extension for the Jets, tight end. And then Saquon did not practice on the Tuesday walkthrough dealing with a stinger.
Whoa, hold on. You breezed past workhorse.
Oh, yeah.
Workhorse Jeremy Ruckert.
Oh, man.
At least according to Ian Rappaport.
I mean,
Jeremy Ruckert, everyone.
He's a workhorse. That's what you think of. When I think of a workhorse, I think of Jeremy Ruckert.
How the people
sometimes you can just block and do your job at tight end and be
since the bye,
53%
of snaps, 44% of snaps, 34% of workhorse.
Workhorses don't work at night, man. They still sleep.
What sucks is this has nothing to do with Jeremy Ruckert. This is just the idiocy of what is happening with
social media posts.
Yes, and
from their agents.
Inspired posts.
So our audience right now. Set the line over under the amount of the percentage of our audience that knows what team Jeremy Ruckert played for before we just said this.
Let me do 1 divided by 32 because maybe that team's fans.
Workhorse Cup. We got to be better about this.
3%. I think 3% of our audience.
It's so frustrating.
Christian Watson, Josh Jacobs did not practice on the Tuesday walkthrough. They play on Saturday.
Well,
Josh Jacobs intends to play on Saturday. You had some really fun public comments where they came out and said, look, he re-injured his knee immediately. We kind of saw it on the film. He had to stop them from taking him off the field. He says he's gotten into arguments with their head coach multiple times about it, and he's like, and normally I have a good game.
Yeah, he goes, at this point, I think he just trusts me that if I say I'm good to go, I'm going to go out there and help the team. And he followed that up and said, it's easier for me to play through pain than to watch on the sideline. And that is music to my soul. That's what you want your players saying. And the truth is, a lot of NFL players, there are just injuries you can't play through ever, no matter how tough you are. But there is a middle ground where you look at these injury-prone players that are sometimes a little softer, and it's like they can't. They're not going to be willing to play through things that. If the coach gives him an opportunity. Marshawn Lloyd.
Marshawn Lloyd is made out of paper mache. Those hamstrings.
Him and Kendre Miller are just begging for
what
hard.
I don't think he mached it. It's just newspaper.
Yeah, it's
goodness.
It's going to be a dogfight. It's Packers-Bears. That helps.
Yeah.
It helps a lot for Jacobs being out there, but we'll keep monitoring those guys. Luther Bird and Rome Odunze did not practice.
Come on, Luther.
Luther, I think, will play. Odunze, I think, won't, but that's just my gut on Wednesday. And that was News and Notes sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers not available in all states or situations. Coverage is subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. We'll be back in a minute.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. And right now on Prize Picks, you can get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. You like Josh Allen this week? How much? More on passing yards, more on rush yards, more on touchdowns? Well, you can do that, but only on Prize Picks. And now they have a new feed tab where you can go follow your friends. You can directly copy their lineups in one click. Maybe you want to follow along with us on the Footballers, or just someone whose picks you like. You can do that on Prize Picks. We've been having so much fun this season in our head-to-head battles here on the Footballers. And you know what I really like is making the beginning of the game really interesting. Like this past week, I had Javonte Williams. I took the less on in his first 5 rushing attempts. Will he have more or less than 18.5 yards? Bryce Young, will he have more or less than 7 completions? Things like that. It makes the beginning of the game truly an event, extra special, extra fun for your fantasy football weekend. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code FOOTBALLERS to get $50 on lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code footballers to get $50 in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
Well, we have Saturday games, but we also have a Thursday night game.
Thursday Night Breakdown.
And it is the first ever Thursday night game between two teams with 11-plus wins in history. Los Angeles, 11-3. The Seahawks, 11-3. That would be the Rams, not the Chargers. Vegas line, Los Angeles Rams -1.5. The over-under is 43.5. The Rams won 21-19 in Week 11. The Seahawks had the ball for over 37 minutes in that game, but Darnold had the 4 picks. If both teams are basically guaranteed to make the playoffs. Right now, the Rams, I believe their odds are 63% to win the division. They are.
Last I saw, the Rams were number 1 in Super Bowl winning odds, and the Seahawks were number 2.
There is still.
I'm concerned about Seattle.
We have not ruled out like Devontae Adams. Like this isn't. He is not. He's considered a game time decision right now, and this is a big game.
That's crazy.
So I don't know what's going to happen.
Would you play him
as a fantasy manager?
Yeah.
I think you may be in a situation where you literally couldn't.
If he is
couldn't not play him.
Couldn't not play him.
So you are.
Well, let's look at our let's look at our roster.
It's very clear. Couldn't not. Perhaps.
Yeah. So we
go
would
to the tape and say everything.
We have a decision on Devontae
Right.
Adams. If he's active, I presume that we would start him over Travis Kelce without Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's probably.
What about DJ Moore?
I think I'd play DJ Moore. Hey, dude, you are.
I'd play DJ Moore.
He went. He's running in a straight line, and he just went. Poof,
He won't be
face first into the ground.
He won't
and
be
a
playing
hamstring
between
injury.
the. He won't be playing between the 20s. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he's going to be, if he's active, he's going to be out there for goal line.
You're hoping
a
for
little juke route and good hands.
2 catches for 2 yards and 2 touchdowns.
100%.
Yeah, Brooks said he's going to be in for him in Dynasty if he's active
That's
at all.
because Brooks has no one else.
Well, that's the situation. But, I like the Rams in this game. The running game for Seattle has been awful. I mean, not kind of awful. Awful. Like 30th in the league in rush success rate between the two backs. 28th in yards per carry, 26th in yards before contact.
And I think this is part of why the offense is so broken right now for Seattle is if you can't get the Cougs system running where you have any concern about the running backs, everything just falls apart. I mean, you have what is it? Of the past 3 games, you have 1/2 of actual good Seattle offense. They didn't score a single touchdown at home against the Colts, who had Phillip Rivers on the other side. I mean, like, this isn't I'm not saying the sky is falling. I'm not playing JSN, but I'm just saying overall, I have great concern for what's happening with Seattle.
Yeah, they have a great defense,
side.
but their offensive, consistency is questionable. They turn the ball over a lot. So, the decisions for the fantasy player here is I don't want to play Sharps or Walker. I mean, playing against the Rams
I'm playing JSN, and that is probably it.
And on the other side, with the Adams injury, we talked through that. Puka Nacua, of course. I think Colby Parkinson is really interesting. And if Adams is out, he's even more interesting to me. If he's a pickup at tight end and you're on the fence, that might push you over the fence if Adams is ruled out for Thursday. And even if he isn't, like you said, one play could be all he can handle.
Yeah, Parkinson's just been a touchdown machine. He is certainly, I mean, you look at our start-sit tool, he's one of the most common, like, should we pick up and play Parkinson? I was talking to Kyle. Parkinson he's looking right now at Tyler Warren or Parkinson. Parkinson's a good play. He's a good play this week, and I get it. Devontae Adams, tough guy, great player. Maybe they'll use him sparingly, but I still don't think he plays.
I don't think he plays either.
It's like I know how important this game is, but also I know how important Devontae Adams is to the playoffs games, which are way more important than this game.
Yeah.
Kyron is number 1 in rush success rate among all running backs, and Corum is number 2.
Wow.
I would play Corum over both Seattle running backs.
It's tough because this is like a matchup where neither side, both defenses are so good against the run. They shut it down.
Yeah, it's true. And Corum has been on fire in recent weeks, but the matchup is tough. Stafford, top 8 quarterback in 8 of 11 starts. Again, tough matchup. The over-under is 43.5 in this game. It was 21-19 last time. So, the fact that it's in Seattle as well, 12th man, Thursday Night Football, Island game, that's their path to victory. Their path to victory is, play good defense, make it a close game.
There's a little drizzle in the air projected.
Is that what they call rain?
Mm-hmm. Well, they call
drizzle in the air
when it's just a little light.
Little bit rain.
Little drizzle. Any other thoughts from this game you guys want to comment on for the fantasy playoffs?
No, I think it's a pretty straightforward one. I can't imagine you're playing any of the backup wide receivers.
No, Shaheed is leveling up, by the way. He is starting to. Right. He's seeing his snap
I'm talking
count.
from like the Rams.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Shaheed I wanted to mention as well.
If Adams is out, I'm not like, okay, well, next man up. Not when on the season the Seattle Seahawks are the worst matchup for fantasy wide receivers.
Rashee Shaheed, 4 for 67, 5 for 74 the last 2 weeks. Snap counts up. Opportunities up. Something to monitor. Feels a little Trey Harrisy to me, but with a worse matchup. All right. If we're done there, I'll click this button.
Mailbag.
If you have a question for the show, we're here to help. Go to the website, thefantasyfootballers.com. Click the submit a question button or dial our voicemail hotline, 302-464-TFFB. Why not just start here? Because this is not the first time I've heard benching this guy as a question this week.
Hey, ballers. Henry from Australia here. Bonjour. Quick question regarding Brock Bowers, especially this week. Do I play him or do I pivot to someone like Colby Parkinson? Thanks, guys. Love the show.
I think this is a really, really important discussion to have because I've seen multiple people ask if they should bench Bowers this week. They're scared of the matchup. I saw one this morning that was, should I play Waller over Bowers? Now I said on that one is like, hey, watch out. They may switch quarterbacks. It probably takes that decision off.
Bowers is in for me.
Of your mind. I can't imagine benching Bowers.
Philadelphia they're really strong against tight ends, right? Am I remembering that correct?
Who?
Philadelphia.
Philly is very good.
Yeah, that's who they just played. And I know it's Kenny Pickett.
Still had 6 catches.
Well, it could be Geno.
Last that Pete Carroll said, he said Geno is certainly ready to go from where I saw him this morning.
I wasn't sure if that was a Geno's going to play or Pete Carroll's like, Geno should play. Hey, if he doesn't play, he's soft. But Brock Bowers is in before the Philadelphia matchup. He was
crushing. On fire, and even
play the better player, man.
Yeah. I'm saying like Kenny Pickett to Geno Smith. Who cares?
Even with Kenny Pickett, he had 8 targets.
Yeah,
but it was just a really tough matchup. And if you want a guy who could get any one target and break 3 tackles and score a manimal touchdown, it's Brock Bowers. So you got to play him.
Yeah, I want to just clear this up real quick. Trey McBride, I play over Bowers.
Yeah. I'd play
Kittle. I'd probably play over Bowers this week against Houston.
I would definitely.
That's it. I don't think I have the guts to try. I'm not playing Goddard. I don't think I'm playing Pitts. That's the end of my list.
Yeah, Pitts is honestly still interesting. Like if Drake London doesn't play again against Arizona, he's high up there.
Well, the Cardinals, we know, will give up 1 touchdown to the defense, 1 to the special teams, and 2 to Bijan. So I don't know how close that gets us to 40 points.
Yeah.
Maybe there's room for a couple.
Like that 2 to Bijan talk.
So are you making Pitts above Bowers an official recommendation?
No.
What did Fannin? Matt wants to talk Fannin.
Fannin has been great. I mean,
Harold Fanny.
I think Kyle Pitts, Harold Fannin, they're great plays this week.
14 targets.
They're great plays.
Sweet.
I'm still going to play Bowers. I agree with Andy. I mean, it's pretty much Trey McBride and George Kittle and then Bowers.
Yeah. Yep. All right. We've got, another tight end question.
Hey, this is Hannah from Montana. I'm just wondering, should I play Tyler Warren or roll the dice and stream a Dalton Schultz or Colby Parkinson? Thanks.
I think that is a much more realistic question with
Tyler Warren or the pivot.
Yeah, I think the pivot might be my answer.
I am out on Tyler Warren. Like I looked, I went and I rewatched the Colts film, and my opinion on Tyler Warren, who's a great player, he also could break tackles and make a manimal play. I think his opportunities and the team's opportunities to score are going to be very hard to come by, and there are a lot of good options this week. And she named some of them. I also would throw Juwan Johnson out there as another great play. If Vele is injured, which it looks like he's week to week right now, Juwan Johnson becomes the number 2 target for the Saints. There's a lot of options I'd play over
Tyler Warren or Colston
Loveland.
I have Warren at 13, and I might lower him even more. It's not his fault.
No, he's awesome.
This is 100% like you watch the offense. The offense strategy was screen pass, short area, screen pass, short area, emergency, short area.
The numbers of it was like passes over 10 yards. I think it was
like 1 of
3
13
for 8 or
it's
something.
Awful.
It's just not viable. It just isn't. So I think Schultz and Parkinson are both in play over Warren. I just dropped him to.
He was at
13. Now he's at 17.
Yeah, it's tough. It's sad, but I think if you roll with someone who you can't get a deep shot, like one of the things that was so great about Tyler Warren throughout this year was, when he's going down the field 15, 20 yards across the middle, you hit him in stride, he breaks tackles, he just looks awesome. He's never getting one of those shots with Phillip Rivers.
Right.
This is the Back to the Future photograph where Alec Pierce has disappeared already.
Oh, yeah.
And then Warren's disappearing, and everybody's disappearing. And,
the Alec Pierce stuff is such a bummer.
I mean, he was dominant, but you can't run
there's
an out
nothing he
route
can
down
do
the
about
field.
it.
Yeah, I mean, did he even have a target?
He did. I think he had one important catch.
Oh, very late, right, on that drive?
Late, yep.
Yeah, for the field goal. All right, well, we have more panic in the streets. Rashee Rice without Mahomes question from Instagram. Molecular Matter. How do we feel about Rashee Rice without Patty Mahomes? Are you rolling with Rice? Are you rolling with Tet McMillan?
Ooh. Tet is interesting.
Rice has had 2 bad weeks in a row.
Overall, like I'm not completely out on Rashee Rice just because of how he's used in the offense. Gardner Minshew, obviously a massive downgrade, but Rashee Rice is like we figure out how to just get him the ball as easily as we can possibly get him the ball and then let him go out there and cook. This isn't precision route, precision timing. He's out athleting people. So he's not I'm got to escape. I got to get Rice out of my starting lineup. Tet McMillan against Tampa Bay. That one I can be talked into Tet McMillan.
Nobody has taken more shots than Rashee Rice
man.
The last 2 weeks.
He has been blowed up.
Yes.
I mean, the recipe is out there for how to stop Rashee Rice. He's caught 0 of those passes.
Hit him with a Mack truck.
Yeah, I mean, he's a weird receiver, guys. He really is.
Oh, yeah. Always has been.
He's not a normal, prototypical one. He feels a little bit like Michael Thomas, not in the exact same style, but in the fact that you do kind of a couple things better than everybody in the entire league, and that's what you operate under, and that's where your fantasy value is found. It's not going to be deep routes. It's not going to be
Rashee Rice or Justin Jefferson against the Giants.
Jason?
I would go Jefferson, honestly, and I know that I'm not allowed to say that anymore.
Rashee Rice or Ladd McConkey against Dallas.
Oh, man.
Bounce
probably
back
Ladd.
week for McConkey.
It was probably Ladd because of the matchup.
Yeah,
I do agree with your premise, though, Mike, that Rashee Rice is not – I'm not out on him. He's just a little bit lower. There are other good options. If there's good options like Tet, like Ladd, then you can make a pivot. But I'm going to play him over Jalen Waddle now.
Yeah.
All right, well, you have more questions on the way after this break.
Lowe's knows Sundays are for football, so tackle your home improvement projects by Saturday and earn your Sunday with great deals on LG and Bosch appliances. Select Bounty and Swiffer cleaning products and more. Then Once your to-do list is done, get ready to kick back, relax, and enjoy the game. Shop in store or online now and earn your Sunday with help from Lowe's, official partner of the NFL. Aura Frames is the hidden gem that becomes the favorite gift long after the wrapping paper is gone, and you can enjoy unlimited free photo and video uploads. Simply download the Aura app, connect to Wi-Fi, and start adding memories in seconds. Every gift can be personalized with a custom message that appears when it's first turned on, a very thoughtful touch for any occasion. And if there's that person in your family or your friend group that you really want to impress, that you hope years from now they look back and they say, I remember when I got that. That's now changed how I experience life because new photos are always coming up and new memories are showing up. That's the Aura Frame. And for a limited time, you could save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver Mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using the promo code FOOTBALLERS at checkout. That's Aura, A-U-R-A, frames.com, promo code FOOTBALLERS. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now in time for the holidays and support this show by mentioning us at checkouts. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we have people panicking, not just about Rashee Rice. How about George Pickens, Mike?
We got
an Instagram question from Mama Cucina. Am I crazy for considering benching George Pickens for Jayden Reed? Feels a little crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Feels a little crazy.
Yeah, the meter's a little more on the crazy side. I know that the 2 weeks have been horrifically bad, but everything around Pickens is still the same. And Jayden Reed's upside in a playoff matchup is not even close to what Pickens.
What's going to be your postmortem if Pickens has the year he had, but then
just completely falls apart?
Like he's a flop for the fantasy playoffs.
I would be, just nervous, really, really nervous about how teams will look at that. I mean, because it's on him. It feels like this is 100% on George Pickens, and this is not.
It looks like effort, but that's such a hard thing to judge.
Right.
It's funny how it always looks that way when he struggles.
But then why he's great? Effort. I mean, like when he's out there making the
does he give too much? And
maybe,
it's like it
and he burns too bright
from the future.
It's possible.
I think it's talent. That's why he succeeds. He's just like hyper.
Right, but I'm saying
athletic.
It's not just the spectacular catches. It's also the run after catch.
That's true. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
So is it as simple as he shows up when he feels like showing up, or is there there's probably more to it than we realize. It can't be that easy.
It's a weird week for Dallas in general because there's nothing left to play for, playoffs wise. I'm just very curious. Everything's been about this epic comeback for their team. Javonte Williams has been great all year. CeeDee Lamb and Dak. Like you guys have, ironically, just to use it as an example to talk about it, you have two stacks, Burrow Chase,
Mike,
Emo Burrow right now.
Yes. Close tonight will be the night. Burrow, get it together, man.
And then you've got Dak.
Snap out of it.
Dak and CeeDee. Both teams were like last week. It was like, oh, we got like a 3% chance to make the playoffs. And both teams lost.
Right.
And they lost to teams that they thought maybe they could beat. Minnesota beats Dallas. Baltimore smacks Cincinnati. And now how do both teams rebound? And you have everything riding on both of those stacks, and you both would like them to have playoffs on the line.
Yeah, but we don't. So we'll just have to see.
And then you're not pivoting.
The nice thing is with the Cowboys is they've got a lot of experience at the end of seasons of kind of not having to play
so
for the
does
playoffs.
Cincinnati.
They both, three years.
Maybe they'll be more comfortable.
Pickens or Brian Thomas Jr. is a good question.
That is
from Fleezus, writing in on Instagram.
That would be Pickens for me.
Yeah, the Patrick Surtain treatment. As good as Jacoby has been for this team, you got to imagine Surtain's on Thomas.
Instagram question from Kyle.
Oh, man, that would be just if Brian Thomas gets out there.
Talk about the inverse of Pickens.
I'm saying that if Thomas is out there and he sees that Surtain is lined up on Jacoby, that is such an insult.
Kyle writes in, this one's slightly different than the last one. What's on the table for your Christmas meal? Is it ham, turkey, or both? I think we've been on the record. We're pretty big fans of ham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Hey, let me ask you this.
Very pro ham.
When you like your team explodes so many points.
You go turkey?
Yeah. Did that team go turkey? No. That
They
team
went
went
ham?
ham. Going turkey is like
Yeah, that's like,
cowardice.
oh, man, you're
You're a turkey.
What a turkey.
no one's like, oh, you're a ham.
Now, turkey's good, though.
Well, if you do 3 in a row.
But turkey really needs, like turkey, ham, you just is delicious no matter what happens to it. Turkey, you need like gravy. You have to have,
Right,
like,
yes,
and maybe
yes,
mashed
yes,
potatoes mixed in.
Or a hefty glass of water.
Which is funny because turkeys are mean. Turkeys,
That's funny.
I'm not saying like we call people a turkey and it's like you're weak, you're a coward. A wild turkey, don't mess with them.
That's fair. I think
That
maybe
thing will mess
I
you
think
up.
Turkeys look ridiculous. I think that's part of it.
Yeah, no, they
like
do.
if I call you
Their
a turkey,
face.
if I call you a
Yeah,
turkey,
Josh knows a pack of wild turkeys.
they're mean.
You leave them alone unless you're armed.
You know what's good is a turkey sandwich.
Oh, dude, yeah, club.
Like after
Oh.
Thanksgiving or Christmas, and you got some mayo up in there to keep it wet.
You know what's better, though? A ham sandwich. Ham and cheese. On a nice toasted pretzel bun.
Yeah, the honey baked, right? We do the honey baked.
ham is
Yeah.
just better.
Sweeter. Sugar's delicious.
It's fine. You can eat the turkey. It's fine.
Neither of these will be at our Christmas party.
Yeah, we don't do a Christmas dinner, big Christmas meal. Like, I don't think we've ever had
Your
a...
family
fam?
doesn't?
Yeah. We do a
Interesting.
huge Thanksgiving feast, obviously.
You don't have like a Christmas meal?
No, not really.
I feel like even Mike has that.
Jack in the Box?
Yeah, Jack in the Box.
Yeah. No, we've never done... I don't think in our entire lives we've ever done a sit-down Christmas dinner.
Raheem Morris, little update here,
Oh,
says
my.
Drake London day-to-day. He'll be at practice. Look forward to see how much he'll be able to give us this week. Oh, that's the
crap.
worst
Is that
sentence you could give a fantasy player.
Is that Josh's team? Josh, do
Looking
you have
forward to
Drake
seeing
London?
how much
No.
he'll be able to give us this week.
I'd play
We
him.
would like to know
I'd-
ahead of time.
I'll probably be
It
playing
will
him.
definitely help Josh's team
He
if
doesn't
Drake
have
London
Joe.
plays.
He does. He traded him.
No, but they're facing Kyle Pitts.
Ah, yes.
Oh, that would make a big difference. That would make a
Yeah,
very
if Drake
big
London
difference.
plays, I mean, Kyle Pitts is. Ooh.
We got one more question here from Heiserberg. New hobbies for the eliminated? Question mark.
Oh.
So some new hobbies to we sports cards.
yeah,
Mike and I,
yeah.
we've been doing the sports cards thing.
And to
maybe
mine-
whittling. I feel like that's something Al would do.
If you
Do you
like-
whittle, Al?
Not anymore.
You used to whittle?
I did like it,
a little bit, he
I was
did.
a Boy Scout, man.
Swish!
Nice.
Papa Josh had to have whittled as well.
Oh, for sure.
You grew up when whittling was pretty much the only thing you could do,
He
right?
carries
That's how we made our toys.
he carries a pocket knife on him at all
He does
times.
carry a pocket.
And
He
that's
could whittle
because he might need to whittle.
That's the 3D printer of his generation.
the whittling. And then the Falcon, do you even know what whittling is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Which is whittling's.
Whittling.
It's interesting. I'm getting old, man. Imagine
Sitting around a campfire
Yeah,
with a
just-
block of wood
Uh-huh.
and a knife.
It's
That sounds awful.
Sounds pretty
You
great.
were a Boy Scout too, Matt?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Okay, so what about you, Josh?
No, I'm not a nerd.
Yeah, get him, get him. Take that, Boy Scouts.
Oh my gosh. I
Papa
think
Josh.
Al is Eagle Scout.
No.
You stopped short?
I stopped just short at Life Scout. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Life
even know there was
Scouts?
one below.
Yeah,
I didn't know there
no
was
one has ever heard of a Life Scout because usually if you get there,
You finished the job.
yeah, because like
Wait.
everyone knows an Eagle
Well,
Scout's a thing.
no. Now I got to explore this. What are the ranks?
Yeah.
Oh, there's
I don't remember
Weebelow's
them
the
all.
lowest thing, right? Is that one of them?
I
what
think
word
so.
did you say?
Weebelow.
Weebelow?
You didn't know about
I think that
Weebelows?
might be
Is
like
that
before
real?
That's Cub Scouts. That's Cub
Yeah.
Scouts.
That's just a
or
wee below.
I can't remember it all.
Who set it up? We're like, okay, we got Life Scout. What's next?
Eagle.
Eagle.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Jim, enough with the Eagles.
The Eagle Scouts have to do a big project, like a bunch of hours, like a huge year-long
But if you
thing.
make it all
And
the
since
way,
Owl is
Is
You
that
just
why
hit
you-
the nail on the head as to why I didn't finish.
Yeah, you didn't want to put in. Did you ever have a project figured out and then you just didn't do it?
Nope.
Okay. Could have done a whittling thing.
Probably should have.
Yeah.
I was really good.
whittle like 700 signs.
It looks
become
like
an
we
Eagle
got
Scout.
Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, Star, Life, Eagle.
You went really far to quit.
I think so. Star, Life, Eagle. We're just picking words.
Yeah, they are. And this is after second and first.
We should rename all.
Wait.
We should rename
was there
all
a
of
second
our.
and first?
Yeah,
in there?
read them again.
And they did.
Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, Star, Life, Eagle.
These are our new
is our
UDK
first-
tiers.
This is our first class guy. He's way worse than the Life Scout. What?
First class. What a loser.
We're gonna hear from a lot of
When I buy plane
Boy
tickets,
Scouts.
I'm looking for the Life
A
section.
lot of Boy Scouts. All right, that'll do it for today's show. We got starts of the week and matchups tomorrow.
Also, Tenderfoot. That is just.
Tenderfoot. That just reminds me of Land Before Time.
But you're like, hey, oh, look out! Here comes the
Littlefoot?
Tenderfoot.
Yeah, I guess it was Littlefoot, huh?
Yeah.
That's not a rank.
No.
Matchups and fantasy face-off on Friday. My routine wheel of shame, and then we'll be into the playoffs and Sunday live Sunday morning before the games. So you do not want to miss it. Good luck, everybody out there on waiver day. Your waivers went through. Hopefully, you got your guys. You played a little defense against your opponent. We'll be back tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.